Welcome to Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. We are the only, well, not the only one, but we are the first online Toastmasters Club in District 87, and we meet every first and third Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. GMT plus 7. Welcome, welcome. My name is Natalie. I'm the Surgeon at Arms. And before we start this meeting, I would like to remind you to always open your video if it's possible, and then be proactive. And when you're not speaking, do respect other people who have their stage to shine by muting yourself and only unmute when it's allowed to. So all in all, have fun because we will have an amazing meeting with our special Toastmaster of the meeting. We got her all the way from Australia. But before that, let me welcome everyone as the acting club president. And I would like to extend my warmest welcome to Toastmaster Alicia Curtis from Australia, but a member of District 100, if I'm not mistaken. No, I was wrong. Which district are you a member of, Alicia? I remember you're a part of like 5 districts. 12, 49, and 51. There you go. And I would like to extend my warmest welcome from Kota Kinabalu, our Toastmasters Amran bin Ali Ahmad. Welcome to Bhinneka Online.
Thank you.
Also, Toastmaster Yvonne, which one of our members, Rendra, would love to call her iPhone for some reason. I don't know why. So welcome back, Yvonne, our regular guest of Bhinneka. We hope that you enjoy our meeting and you get something of value today. And I would love for everyone here to just relax, let go, and enjoy, because we also have a quite interesting theme for today's meeting. All right, without further ado, I would like to give the virtual stage onto distinguished Toastmasters Alicia Curtis.
Thank you very much, Natalie, and thank you so much, Bhinneka Online Toastmasters. It has been a very, 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 very long time since I've been at your particular club, and I think it would be September of last year. That was the last time I came and visited. So I'm going to try and make it a goal of mine to come here at least once a month now. Once a month, because I always like coming to the club. And I always like having fun at Bhinneka Online Toastmasters. And I saw Natalie recently, just as a heads up, I saw Natalie recently when we had to do a panel discussion all on the speech contest. And guess what? I now have to go and do another discussion panel, a singular panel discussion for District 87 for Miranda in a couple of weeks' time. So if you want to come to Club Officer Training, TLI, whatever you guys call it in District 87, come and watch me get slaughtered like a lamb to the, whatever. Someone remind me what it is, lamb to the slaughter. And yes, you will see me perform yet another contest, discussion, or keynote speech, I think at the end of February. So I'm very excited about that. So if you want to know more about the contest, hint for our 2 contestants, Intan and also Diddy, you will be able to see what I look for as a judge. And guess what? Intan, I will be judging and evaluating your speech based on the judging criteria tonight. So don't worry, don't be afraid, don't be scared. I am here to give you feedback. All right, our theme tonight is sorrow of love. I don't want to have sorrow of love. I want to have sorrow of happiness. And sorrow of love for me could mean many things. This is actually a very abstract concept. So I've decided that instead of just talking about being depressed and, being Happy Singles Awareness Day, because there's many of us that are single here, and we are celebrating hopefully that one day that Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or Mr. or Mrs. whoever, whatever, walks through the doors and goes, yep, I'm going to love you. So instead of feeling sad and depressed, an ice cream will come into the background. We will get to support ourselves through ice cream, more ice cream, and guess what? Even more and more ice cream, because we're all feeling sad for ourselves. And I like the fact that Pipit has a really interesting looking ice cream. I don't know what flavor that is, Pipit, but it looks absolutely wonderful. And if we're feeling a little bit more sorry for ourselves before we have the dessert, we'll have the mains, as we say. We can have the burger and the fries, of course, and we can have the fries, but above all, we can have the pizza. So sorrow of love can be happiness, whatever way we want to do, or we can just have Macca's, McDonald's, spinning around. So that's how I defined the sorrow of love. Feeling sorry for yourself and eating fatty food. And I'm just going to go for McDonald's tonight because, hey, I rushed up there just before coming to the meeting. Now, it's good to see we've got a few more people on the call, and I am now going to make sure that we introduce the meeting theme, which we've already done, and our word of the day. The word of the day is pretty much like the theme of the day, which is sorrow of love. I am happy for anyone to take it in whatever way and capacity they would like to say it. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask two people to give their interpretation because sorrow of love could mean different things to different people. Natalie, you look really busy, and even more, that's why I'm going to ask you to say, what is your interpretation of sorrow of love? Is it McDonald's? Is it finding Mr. Right? Is it winning the World Championship of Public Speaking? What is your definition?
I think sorrow of love for me is when I feel okay being single in my 30s, but everybody else is not okay with that. I think that's the problem. I'm too comfortable and they're just like busy looking after me. I think that's like the sorrow that comes from love.
Awesome. All right. So finding out who we are. Okay, Ben, you look really busy, but I'm still going to ask you anyway. How do you define sorrow of love, Sam?
Sorrow is like when you really like somebody or love somebody, but they don't reciprocate that same emotion. So you put yourself out there and it doesn't get received, or it does get received, but it doesn't get. There's nothing. Your expected emotional response is not there. So then you go to a bar and drink. You drown your sorrows in alcohol, specifically tequila.
Well, someone seems to have been an expert in the sorrow of love story. But anyway, we have multiple different ways of defining sorrow of love, and let that be part of the journey. Let that be part of the abstract concept, which is the sorrow of love. I'm now going to introduce our lovely general evaluator of the day. So we have 3 countries that appears to be on the screen. We have Indonesia, we have Malaysia and Australia. Sorry, Ben, even though you're from the United States of America, you're actually in Indonesia at the moment. So I'm just going to stick with 3 countries, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Australia, represented here tonight. So Ben, you can be a token Indonesian tonight. How's that sound? Thumbs up? Excellent. All right. I'm going to go from one extreme, Australia, all the way to Malaysia, and we're going to introduce our general evaluator tonight, who is Amran bin Aliamat. Please welcome Amran. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. This is Toastmaster Alicia Curtis. Tonight, I'll be the GE as the General Evaluator, or GE. I shall observe and evaluate just about anything and everything regarding the proceedings of the meeting. I shall conduct the evaluation session and give my general evaluation. Give my general remarks regarding various aspects of the meeting during the general evaluation session. I'm not alone. I am assisted by several members. First of all, our timer, whistle timer.
That's Ben now.
And
Is it Ben?
yes.
We just traded. It's Amelia.
Okay.
Just makes sense to
I would
me.
like to invite our timer. Is it
Yes,
Toastmaster Ben?
so I will be the timer. I will time all the speaker for today from the prepared speech, table
Oh,
topic,
timer
and also
Amelia. Okay.
evaluation session.
All right.
Yeah, and I will give my background as a signal for the time. Green mean you reach the minimum time, yellow mean you are in the middle, and red that's mean you need to stop. Green is for 5 minutes for prepare speech, 1 minute for table topic, and 2 minutes for evaluation. Yellow is 6 minutes for prepare speech, and 1 minute 30 seconds for table topic, 2 minutes 30 seconds for evaluation, and red 7 minutes for prepare speech, 2 minutes for table topic, and 3 minutes for evaluation. And you have 30 seconds after the red sign to conclude your speech. And I will post my report on the chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Timer Toastmaster Emilia Dewi. Before that, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Mike Lim from Australia. Mike, are you there, Mike?
Yeah,
Welcome,
thank you.
Mike. Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you here. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
my camera's not working, but I just like to say hello. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mike. We are honored to have you tonight. And
Oh, it's a
next,
pleasure. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So next role player is our grammarian. Our grammarian is who's our
Pipit.
grammarian? Oh,
Pipit.
oh, our grammarian is Toastmaster Pipit from
Hello,
Pekanbaru
everyone.
Toastmaster. Yes, Pipit.
Okay,
Please
thank you.
explain your
Sorry,
role.
I'm not able to turn on camera for now, but I will be in around 5 minutes. But
Okay.
the job of the grammarian is, first of all, to introduce the word of the day, which is sorrow. Okay, so sorrow means a feeling of deep distress, deep distress caused by disappointment, loss, or other misfortune suffered by someone. Okay, so a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by someone. For example, how to use it in a word: he understood the sorrow underlying his brother's sigh, for example. Okay, I understand your sorrow. In this case, we talk about the sorrow of love. We try to be what is it called? Walking contradiction to the next week's Valentine's Day, because people keep talking about, you know, the beauty of love, like that. And then Bhinneka tried to flip the table in this case, talking about the sorrows of love. And then my next job is to actually listen carefully to the expressions that is uttered by everyone here, and then I will report it at the end if I see something that needs to be improved or something that needs to be highlighted, so everyone can also learn from interesting expressions. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite our accountant, Toastmaster Yvonne, to explain her role as an accountant.
Thank you, our general evaluator, Avon, and the fellow Toastmaster. It's my pleasure and my role as the accountant today is to note the words and the sounds. If someone during the meeting they speak like the R, or they during the meeting they speak, they repeat some words. And the other point, if they speaking some overused words, then I will give the report when I will be called by the GE. Thank you. And the other point, I will also count the word of the day. Sorrow. Thank you. Back to our GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yvonne. With that, I would like to return the control to the Toastmaster of the evening, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Curtis. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Amran bin Alimat. Amran will come back at the end of the meeting and provide his feedback, including a round robin session for our second speaker, Intan, who is going to be going on to I think it's the division level, is that correct? The division level for the international speech contest. So we will work her speech during runs general evaluation. All right. So with Toastmasters, there's 3 portions to every meeting. We call it a pie. I like to call it an apple pie because McDonald's has apple pies, pumpkin pies, and all the other type of pies at the moment. So I'm not just going to call it a pie because I think we need to have something a bit more exciting. So in this particular pie, we start with the speeches or the prepared speeches, and that is our communication portion. Then we have the impromptu section or the table topic session, which is thinking on our feet, being able to think blindly and being able to speak with confidence and eluding that confidence. And then, of course, we have the evaluation portion, which finalizes the E of the pie, and that's providing feedback, better listening, better speaking, and better communicating and better thinking. So this is what Toastmasters is all about. If you have never been to Toastmasters, I think we're all Toastmasters. So let's get underway with our prepared speeches. We have 2 speakers, as I have mentioned before. Our first speaker today is going to be Dinny, and I'm just seeing to make sure if Dinny is there. Dinny Norris, yep, our first speaker is there. Excellent, and Dinny will be evaluated by Natalie. Dinny's working from Engaging Human Path, and I'll ask Natalie to read out the speech project. Thank you, and the purpose statement.
Thank you very much, Alicia. I'm back again, this time as Dinny Norris evaluator, and Dinny is working on her project, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. So the time is 5 to 7 minutes, and the purpose of this project is for her to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. So I will take note on if the speech is well organized and if they have any intentional or unintentional movement and body language or distracting movement or movement that can enhance the speech. And the speech title is Focus on the Finish Line. So I would like to give it back to Toastmaster Alicia to introduce Dinny.
Thank you very much, Natalie, Distinguished Toastmaster Natalie Chakyadi. Please welcome our first speaker, Dinny Norris, with Focus on the Finish Line. Focus on the Finish Line, Dinny Norris, and it's a 5 to 7 minute speech. Take it away, Dinny.
Give me a moment. Let me pin the time. Okay. I have been running all my life to pursue my finish line ahead. But the more I ran, the more I saw people passing me by. Eventually, I got tired, got slower, and started to give up. Dear my fellow Toastmasters, I have always been a full marathon runner by heart. So ambitious, working hard to pursue my goal, which is the finish line. One day, as I was running so hard, I stumbled upon pebbles at the first checkpoint. You know, I always loved working so hard to earn money, you know, to do what I want. But the pandemic hit. I almost lost my job. I lost 96% of my students only to renew it. Can you think what I felt at that time? Feeling useless. All I did was trying other hustles, but nothing lasts long. Try so hard to get my money back. Nothing. All I got was become fat and then, become stressed, empty, finishing her unfinished K-dramas. Seeing me in a bad shape like that, instead of scolding me, my mom just worried about me. She asked, "Are you okay, dear? No more job now? That's okay. You can take a rest." I felt so ashamed of myself. Seeing her worry like that, making me feel so nervous and wary. So I started to walk briskly once again so that I could see my mother's mouth in my finished line. Finally, ran again. Whew, I feel good about myself. My best pace. But then again, there we are. We found another bounce. I stumbled at the second checkpoint. This time, all I wanted to do is to expand my capacity to my fullest. That's why I tried to apply for other hustles as speakers, as teachers for other subjects. Try for another opportunity. What I got from tens of applications, all I got was rejection. I cried so hard. Once again, can you guess what I felt back then? I was shattered. Another useless feeling. Then I cried to my husband. All I said was, "Why did I fail? There must be something wrong with me. I'm not good enough. I always failed the applications. Why? Let me just be ibu-ibu rebahan, lazy homemaker then. Why? Probably I'm not smart." And hearing that, all my husband did just hug me and embrace me. He said, "That's okay, dear. Probably they haven't seen your potentials. Or probably God has another opportunity for you. Don't worry. Just don't be ibu-ibu rebahan, okay?" Hearing his words warmed my heart. And then I started to believe in myself again. I started to run again, catching up what I left behind. Yes, I know. I can finish it. Run again. And with all those planned about my life, the checklist, right at the third checkpoint, another pebble. I just stumbled upon pebbles again. Last year, I had a good time. I had a big picture on what I would spend my Toastmaster journey. I had mentoring with Natalie. Wow, we discussed all those short-term plans, long-term plans. Oh yeah, I wanted to do this, and boom. Well, probably only 3 projects done because I encountered misfortune. My dad got a heart attack. I had to sail back to my parents' hometown. I was absorbed into his medication for months. Not only Toastmasters, but I also canceled all my classes. You know, I felt so bad for those canceled classes, felt so bad for those canceled meetings. I was not mad at the situation, but I was just exhausted. I was just messy. Not only my schedules that were messy, me. Spent restless days and nights, slept in the hospitals, focus. I was just mentally burnt out. I was totally messy. Then I just forgot to run. That full marathon runner just became into a sleeping beauty. Forgot the goal. Then last 2 weeks, exactly last 2 weeks, DTMP bit reached out to me. She asked me if I wanted to join a competition in area contest. Well, in seconds, I hesitated a bit. It was because I felt like I'm so rusty now because I haven't been delivering speeches. Like I didn't know what to do. I just didn't want to make this club embarrassed, like for sending me to a contest. Well, another useless feeling. But then again, I tried to think from another perspective. Probably this is my chance, like an oasis in the desert, probably. So in an instant, I said, yes, count me in. I want to join. I need to refresh myself again. Well, probably do a little bit warming up, a little bit right before I start to run again to catch up my goal, my finish line. Catching up my breath. Yes, I believe I can finish this race. Dear my fellow runners here, join me. Let's run on the track that we paved here. Well, along the way, we may find another pebbles, getting blisters, getting injured at every checkpoint. But just let's fasten our shoelaces, straighten our stance, and set our eyes on the track. When we are ready, we can set our posture and give smiles to those who pass us by with no worries, because we always have our own track. Set your focus. focus on the finish line. Back to you, our time.
Thank you very much, Dinny, for that wonderful speech, that very heartwarming speech about your journey and also about your dad. I hope he is getting better. I really seriously do, because I don't know exactly how that feels to lose a father or to have a father who is unwell. My dad had a heart attack just before Christmas, so I can feel the pain in your voice. All right. We're going to go to our second speaker. Now, before I do that, I just want to check with Intan. Now, I just want to ask Intan, are you going to be doing this speech in person or online when you do at the division level?
It will be in person, Alicia.
Okay. The other reason I'm saying that is because I want to try and replicate this as much as possible. To try and make sure that we do the right thing. Okay, I just want to confirm with Intan that you can see me, you can hear me, and you can see Amelia, who has raised her hand.
Okay, I saw the timer.
Yep, okay, so you can, yep, you're audible. Do you want to just speak up a little bit louder? I just want to see if we can hear you a bit better.
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, yes, we can hear you now. All right, excellent. Are you ready to go, Intan?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'll introduce Intan. We'll keep our screens on tonight. Technically, if it was an online contest, we would all have to turn our screens off, but we will keep the screens on to try and replicate this as much as possible for the in-person experience, so that we can also give audience reaction, which is part of delivery method when we're coming to the International Speech Contest ballot. All right, let's welcome our second speaker, Intan. Me first, you later. Me first, you later, Intan.
Ma, I'm hungry. Honey, where is the car key? Wait a second. I got a call. Hello? Okay. I got it. I'll send you the document after this. Okay. Thank you. Bye. You think being a mom is a full-time job? Imagine your life as a working mom. You have 2 full-time jobs with half-time pay. 24 hours is not enough. Not enough time to sleep, not enough time to relax, even when you are driving or in the middle of doing something. Our brain won't stop thinking what to do after this, after that. Imagine how important you are. Everyone needs you. Imagine how helpful you are, always helping others. Imagine how kind you are. Always give your time to others. Others first, me later. Fellow Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, one day on my way delivering training, I was such in a hurry and bam, I got an accident. I bumped into another motorcycle on the road. So I called my friend and he took me to the hospital. You know what? Instead of worrying about myself, I'm worrying about my training. To my surprise, somebody already managed the replacement for me. At some point, I feel glad, but I don't know. Somehow, I feel sorrow. I feel empty. So while staying alone in the hospital, suddenly I come to this thought. As a mom, I always give the best for my family. Best food, best clothes, everything that I could afford to make them happy. Every time I see something good, I always think about others. Even my daughter, my son, my husband, even my friends. I never think about myself in the first place. Even when I want to buy something really bad, I always think, is it useful enough? Is it worth it enough? No. It's a waste of money. And as someone who works in the office, I always prioritize my job, and I am willingly to work overtime, get something done for someone else. But when I want to spend more time for myself, just like doing nothing or spending hours watching kids drama, do something that I like, I feel bad. I feel guilty. I'm questioning, is it the right thing to do? No. It's a waste of time. Now, as I lay helplessly in the hospital, I come to this realization. Who suffer the most? Who take care of you? And who will accompany you all the time? Yes, the answer is only me, is ourselves, who will be there till the end of the day. So if there is someone who should be put in the first list, it should be ourselves, not others. Remember, the world will keep moving, the people will keep busy, even if without my presence. Everything and everyone is okay. Turns out I'm not that important as I thought. Fellow Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, me first, you later. It's the right things to do. Put ourselves first is not selfish. It is a self-love and self-care. Spending money to buy something that makes you spark and joy is not a waste of money. Spending hours to do something that you like is not a waste of time. Treat ourselves nicely, give the best for ourselves, and think ourselves first place. Fellow Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, if you see clearly, there is me in time. There is no you or they or anybody else. So, me first, you later. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Intan. Amelia, can we please have the timing for Intan's speech? Thank you.
Yes,
That's really
Intan is 6 minutes and 25 seconds.
excellent. Well within time. Congratulations, Intan. We will be able to 24 seconds to 6 minutes and 24 seconds. All right, so if we do vote for best speaker here, we have an automatic winner. It will be Intan. So congratulations if you are voting for the best speaker. So Intan is the automatic winner. Sorry, Dinny, you're about 6 to 7 minutes over time, but that's okay. We did enjoy your speech anyway. So let's congratulate our two ladies tonight for their wonderful speeches. We had Dinny, who took us on a very emotional journey with her father and having to give up a bit of her own personal life. And then we had Intan, who was sharing her international speech about putting her own thoughts and self-care first, and then second priority was others. And I think that's really important. That was a great showcase from both of our speakers. That wraps up our speech portion. So that wraps up the P for the pie, prepared speeches. We're now going to go into impromptu speaking with our table topics master, none other than Ben. Please welcome Ben Whitaker.
All right. The cool thing is we have 11 people. So I have one extra, or actually I have several extra topics. So let me share my screen a little bit and do presentation. Sorrow and love. What a fun topic, right? As our Toastmaster mentioned earlier today. So positive. All right, so we have 10 different topics here, and I am going to just ask somebody to go first. How about our general evaluator, Fuck Ran? Pick a number between 1 and 10, sir.
Number 1.
Number 1, perfect. I can just go like this. All right. Unrequited love. Share a personal experience or fictional story about unrequited love and its emotional impact. So for those of you that don't know what unrequited is, it's when you're feeling especially love, your love is not returned, right? If you love something but it's not returned to you. So share an experience about that.
Thank you very much. In my case, is that a best friend of mine had a feeling for me that I didn't know. Unfortunately, I only knew when she wanted to get married. She said to me, Ampran, I've been keeping this feeling for you for so many years, but you are not returning my feelings. I said, I had the same feeling too. The problem is none of us inform the opposite party. Wow. Like you have a mountain of diamond, but you do not know the diamond belong to you. And the same thing with her. However, we remain as friends for many years. He married the guy that I do not like. I know the guy is not good for her. And after more than 15 years, they get divorced. I was right. The guy was not good for her. And later, recently, about 5 years ago, yesterday, I saw her name. She changed her name with a new name, with a new surname at the end. I suspected that she got married again. And yesterday I asked her, are you married again? Yes, I'm remarried now. I say, I wish you all the best. I hope this will be the better man for you. I wanted to tell her about this secret that I've been keeping for so many years. But I thought it was not a good idea. I kept it until today. How I wish that I knew that she has a feeling for me and I had a feeling for her, and that I have the courage to tell her and she has the courage to tell me, but not when the next day is her wedding. That was the worst experience. Until now, I really feel it. It's a sorrow of love. Over to you, Tematic Master.
All right. Fantastic answer. I can't relate exactly to that, but in the sense of the concept, not really the wedding part. But a lot of times, even like going back to high school, we have this hindsight. And, this is the idea of men and women are different. And as a teacher, I tell my students kind of like I predict their future about relationships. And what happens is, like us guys, we don't really know anything. We have blind spots and we don't pay attention to anything around us. We just hang out with our friends and we're acting weird and stupid. And then the girls over here, they look at us and they're like, oh, they're dumb. These guys are dumb. And then all of a sudden, one of those girls is saying that, oh, you're dumb, but she's at home and she's alone. And then she realizes she likes you. But you don't ever find out as a guy until a week later when she changed her mind and liked somebody else. Right? It's kind of like it's really quick when you're in school, and then you look at it and you're like, oh man, I missed all the signs. It doesn't really change for, I think, guys in general. We miss these signs because culturally, like men are supposed to be the ones that approach the women and like court them. So we don't say things. So the girls don't say things. We miss out possibly on opportunities. So, and then when the wedding day comes, you're like, oh, that could have been me. So, all right, great story. Okay. Number 2. I'm going to go with our counter. Yvonne, do you want to go? Hello. You want to go?
Sure, thank you. Thank you. I can
All
try.
right.
Thank you.
Yes, that's all we ask is try. All right, so we're going to go with number 2. So this is easier to do that way. All right. Number 2, move that out of the way, is lost connections. So discuss how the loss of a loved one or at the end of a relationship has affected your perception of love. Discuss how the loss of a loved one or the end of a relationship has affected your perception of love.
Thank you for this topic. Actually, will love impact if I lost someone the love? I think according to my experience, yeah, I ever encounter someone actually who is really treat me so good and so well. But how come? Because the impermanent. So because who immigrated to the other country, so actually it's lost. As I say, it's lost. But how come we still continue to contact with each other? I think from this experience, I learned something. Since I learned from my volunteer job, I know what in the worldly the empowerment is always happen in our daily life. So eventually I learned something in my daily life. Actually, we couldn't attach something if that already lost. We shouldn't put a lot of attachment in that. Otherwise, maybe we will feel something sorrow of life, and the love will occupy my mind for a long time. And even I feel within myself, including my mindset. So someone say you just let go. If something you couldn't hold it, even the love, you just let go. So I learned something from it too. And eventually I feel I learned something from that experience. But now I think because I connected to from my learning the teaching, I feel happy. Thank you. And I know what is true, the sorrow of life. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Excellent. Good job, Boo Yvonne. Guys, again, good job using the word of the day, the end there, both of the first 2 speakers. And again, with this idea, when we lose something, right, and it makes it harder for the next person. We become a shell. We learn something because, love is this kind of weird chemical reaction in our brains, and we do a lot of stupid things for it. But then when it gets ripped away from us, and it can be, like I said, you lose family member, friends, or an end of a relationship in general. It makes it that much harder because we get this outer shell where we don't let as many people penetrate that shell. And the more and more bad experiences you have, the harder it is to kind of have someone else like go in. So it's definitely difficult. So thank you very much. Okay, next I want to ask our timer. Amelia, do you want to do a speech?
Sure, Ben.
Yes, okay, dope. All right, let me share my screen once again. Come on, there we go. Number three, there we go. Okay, so it says heartbreak and healing. Share stories of heartbreak and discuss the ways people cope and eventually heal from the sorrow of love. So share a story of heartbreak and how do you cope?
Amelia,
Okay.
I will time you.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Okay, so I would like to share a heartbreaking story, maybe of mine. So I think in my last relationship, it's quite serious, and at the end, it's not working out. And before we actually broke out, so many friends and also family already told me that it will not working out between you guys because you have too many difference and so on. But I think despite of all that kind of difference, the thing that finally makes me can accept the breakup is because there's so many red flag with the guys. So yeah, he kind of like very obsessive and other kind of thing. And with that, at first I actually did not, and I cannot accept this, but how to achieve that acceptance, it's actually kind of rough way to find it. But I think the most important thing is to know that the first thing that important in your life is to make yourself happy. Realize that even so that you love this man, but because of his red flag, even you continue the relationship, it might not working and you might get suffered and it won't make you happy at the end. And with that kind of mind, I could go through and again to accept a new love maybe in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Amelia. And again, like this concept, you look at a lot of cultures around the world and you get this, like, you kind of incorporate religion, and a lot of it, cultures and religions, they try to get people to marry really young, right? Because there's a lot of rules against relationships if you're not married. So what happens is when you're really young, you have less time to really work on yourself. So then you get married and you just kind of have to figure it out, right? Young and dumb. But as you get older, we start becoming more aware. We have our certain kind of habits, and bringing somebody in, we're more perceptive of red flags and how it's not going to work. But sometimes with like relationships, again, like I said, when we talk about love and doing things that are stupid, we try to force it because society says we should. At the end of the day, what Amelia said is making sure that you're happy first, because if you aren't happy, how are you expected to share any of that with somebody else? So don't let someone affect your happiness also. Okay, awesome. All right. Irfan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, dude, you want to try?
Or
You don't get to say no, so that's peer pressure. Give it a go. You got 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. All right, number 4. All right, topic, regrets in love. Explore regrets in love, whether it's regretting actions taken or opportunities missed. Right? Share something that you regretted in a relationship.
okay, so this is time about regressive in relationship. Actually, I have experience in this about around 4 years ago. So the only things that I regret in my relationship since in 4 years ago, it's actually not to sad, but the story, one thing that I regret is um I still did not understand about how I treat my uh, girlfriend. So I still did not have any experience about what should I do when I treat my girl. I mean, what should I do that I have to treat well, like uh, we go lunch together, and so my relationship is flat. So I treat my girlfriend. It's just about never asking her to lunch together or walking together. So, and I regret now because, well, the my ex girlfriend is now it's more looks more beautiful. So I think I regret in that way. Before it, I'm sorry, everybody. This is my first time speaking English, and this is my first time learning. So I'm sorry if you cannot understand what I'm talking about. But one thing that I regret, the point is, uh, I still cannot, I still did not know how to treat my girlfriend. So, but from that, I learned many things. I learned many things about how to do it better. So, uh, I'm so grateful about what I'm being experienced last 4 years ago. So I learned many things. I regret it, but from that I learned many things about that. So I
All
know
right.
how to treat my girlfriend, and that's
Okay. Good job. The
that's
first
all.
time. That's awesome. Well done. Congratulations taking that risk. And
Thank you very
also,
much.
one thing, don't apologize, right? This is a place to learn and get better. So, and just like your speech
Okay.
where you made a mistake and you regretted something, but you learned from it, which is great. And again, I got to be kind of careful how I talk about this particular topic because somebody is really close to me. All right. So, yeah, how to treat somebody. Cool. All right. We got time for two more. Two more. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Bhinneka, are you there?
Yes,
All right. You're getting one.
but I can't, sorry, everyone, I can't open my camera because
That's fine.
okay.
Just gonna give you a time to talk. All right. So your topic is number 5, longing and distance. So discuss the challenges and sorrows that come with love across distance, whether it's physical or emotional. So physical distance or emotional distance, what are some challenges?
All right. Firstly, I must declare that I never had any boyfriend in the past. So I don't know about the sorrow of love, but when I already married, I feel that if my husband far away from me, I really miss him, but I pray for him as well. So um, I have not any bad feelings about him. Just pray for him. I think that's all, Ben.
All right, that's good. Well done. All right, I mean, that's the thing, right? Again, we talk about like cultures and different aspects, and marriage is one of those kind of things around the world that, like, if you can't be like an independent person, it's like you're gonna miss somebody. That's the idea. You care about them. If you go to work and they go to work and they're gone, you kind of still think about them, right? It's like this concept of having someone, and it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be family members as well, right? Where I live here in Indonesia, and all my family and friends in the US, I think about them kind of constantly. And if something goes wrong, right, like it's a long ways to go help them. So it's you pray for people, you kind of hope for the best, and when you get to see them, it makes that connection that much stronger. We got time for one last one, and let's go with our grammarian. Pivot, are you there?
Yes, but I'm not presentable right now. Is that
Oh
okay?
my, whatever, bro.
Like this? Is that okay?
You're fine. Don't ask
right.
me. Like, I'm not the right person to ask.
Okay.
All right. Okay, last one, according to our boss, Miss Alicia Curtis. All right. The passage of time. Explore how time can affect love, the nostalgia of past love, the changing nature of relationships, or the impact of time on healing.
There's multi-layer of questions there.
And pick and choose what you want.
Okay. Timer 1, 2, 3. There's a Madonna song that I really like. It says, "Time will tell," right? But I don't know, because most of the time only tells me half the story, and the other half I have to figure out myself. So that's probably what I can tell about time. And when it comes to love and nostalgia and things like that, I think time is the one that probably can give us clarity. So the benefit of hindsight, try to, Steve Jobs said, connect the dots, things that happen in our life, then we don't know why this is happening to us, things like that. And then after we have gone through all of the things, then we finally realize, oh, that was the reason why these things happened to me. So I would be able to do this, things like that. So I find it fascinating in a way how time can give us that type of clarity or hindsight. For example, when we think of a moment in our childhood, for example, so I remember when my mom, for example, yelled at me because of something, and I remember I was really upset about it. But now when I'm a grown woman, basically, and then try to look back during that time, it was like, oh wow, I was the one who made this mistake, but then I had the nerve to actually got mad at my mom, something like that. So it's totally how our stance or our understanding about some things totally turn 180 degrees after going through the passage of time, in a way. So I think time is magical, but it doesn't tell you the full story. You actually have to sometimes sit down and reflect on the past things that happened to you to be able to get the full benefit of the clarity that time can give you. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Awesome answer. And for the record, Pipit, you look like Pipit. So if that's good or bad, I can't really say. You just look like you. And Natalie looks like Natalie. Inten looks like Natalie. No, wait. Inten looks like Inten. And Alicia looks like, anyways, we all look like each other. So presentable, not presentable. Right. I don't know. I can't tell. I'm a guy. I don't pay attention. That's how it works. But you hear the speech, the quote, "Time heals all wounds." And with time healing all wounds, it's not necessarily true in total, right? It's time can heal it, but you got to treat the wound itself, right? You can't just have a wound bleeding without even put any kind of care and time and the right medicine on it. And a lot of things, like you said, have meaning, but they don't have meaning right away, right? So whatever you believe, like, your self-awareness and some clarity over time, you can sit down and just really, like you said, reflect. Hopefully you can find an answer to why that happened to you. And as like what Irfan said about learning lessons from regret, like something happened in the past, but did you learn from it? And we don't always learn our lesson right away. And, it's all pretty good. So you guys all did a great job with these. Hopefully you guys like my fun little questions I once again grabbed from ChatGPT. And I'm going to give it back to our Tom. Alicia Curtis.
Thank you very much, Ben. All right. We can tell you're definitely a male with the way you sort of segued between, yes, I'm a male. Yes, definitely you are a male. I love men. That's the one reason I love men is they'll just talk and talk and talk, and there's sometimes it's just like, what on earth are they on about? But I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your table topics, Ben. I'll just ask Amelia to confirm all the timings. I think one of our speakers did go over. Actually, one was overqualified and one was underqualified. So Amran is overqualified with 8 seconds over, and Waker was 1 minute, under 1 minute, so under. So Irfan was 1 minute 55 and Pipit was 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So there are our two speakers that you can vote for to the ballot counter. And our ballot counter tonight, I'm just going to go right down there. I don't even know who the ballot counter is today, but anyway, we'll talk about that during the middle. Yes, Natalie?
It will be
You're
me.
the ballot counter. Okay, so can you please send your votes? So we've already got the automatic winner of, as we know, for the best speaker, and the best speaker tonight will be Intan. And between the best table topic speakers, it will be between Irfan and also Pipit. So please send your best vote directly to Natalie rather than openly in the chat. Thank you very much. All right, we are now going to go to the third portion. So we've crossed off the impromptu speaking. So it was better thinking, better speaking, better listening. And now we get to the third part of the apple pie, the evaluation portion. And tonight, our general evaluator, all the way from North Borneo in Kota Kinabalu, please welcome Amran bin Ali Ahmad. Thank you, Amran.
Thank you. Toastmaster of the evening, distinguished Toastmaster, Alicia Curtis. So Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, today is this session is a general evaluation session. All the time has been revealed, so we go straight away to the speakers evaluation. We were going to start with Toastmaster Norris, and I would like to invite the speech evaluator to deliver the speech evaluation, please. That will be distinguished Toastmaster Natalie, is it?
Yes.
Over to you, Toastmaster Natalie.
Focus on the finish line. As soon as Dini said that, it truly resonated with me. And I believe it also resonated with many, if not all of you. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, what an interesting and inspiring speeches. Toastmaster Dini has managed to check all the checkbox on her project list. I would like to congratulate her for finishing the task properly. There are three things that I love from Dini's speech. The first one is the use of body language. Her use of expression appropriately in a different context of emotion at the right timing, I truly enjoy it. Her gestures that is not too much, but purposeful, was on point. All of the body languages help to illustrate the point that she wants to deliver to the audience. The second thing that I enjoy was her vocal variety. Vocal variety includes the pacing of the speech that is pretty pleasant to listen to. The tone, the suitable volume, all of this vocal variety combined was like a wonderful treat for my auditory sense. And the third thing that I enjoy was her story. It begins with her being vulnerable, opening up herself of her struggle, but also showcase her strength in overcoming struggles and challenges into what she is right now. And story helps us to engage and connect with her as the speaker and her with us, the audience. To improve the speech into a greater heights, there are three things that I would like to suggest. First is to reduce the unnecessary movement in the online environment. For example, this is her main gestures, running, because her character was a marathon, a live marathoner. Unfortunately, when you do this, the online setting shake more. So it shook more. So my suggestion is to control the movement so that it can really help us to focus more and less swaying when you deliver that running movement. It will help us to be more focused and not distracted. Second thing that I would like to suggest is to add a little bit of humor. I noticed there are several ways that you can add humor. It's very important to infuse humor in your presentation, especially if the story was quite heavy. You want to lighten the mood a little bit. For example, when you say you are a marathoner, instead of marathoning for my goal, I did a K-drama marathon. And also when you said from something to Sleeping Beauty, and you were talking about something messy before, so you can say Sleeping Messy. It's like a pun. Another thing, when you were saying about being fat and useless, you can also tweak it a little bit, and then you can say my body grew literally and laterally. So something like that. It will add a little bit of emotional relief for your audience. The third thing that I would like to suggest is the time management. You had a great structure in your speech, and I believe it can be condensed even more. For example, the first pebble part can be condensed in like 1.5 minutes. So you can focus more on transitioning to different stories. Overall, it was an excellent and inspiring speech. Body language, vocal variety, story, check. 3 things to improve: the humor, the time management, and also the unnecessary movement. Back to you, G.
Wow, that was an awesome evaluation. I would like to add to you, Danny Nuris, why you exceeded the time. Was it because you didn't see the time, timing?
Yes, initially I already said like, okay, I already saw Amelia's screen, but I guess in the middle of the speech, Amelia raised hand and then it moved all the way and I couldn't see that it moved. And when I tried to find, oh my goodness, yeah, but well, there you go. That's okay.
I see. That is excusable because you didn't see the time. I think that's one of the reasons why you added or repeated some of your story that you have told us, and then you repeated it again. That's what I thought. So, but I agree with distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. It was an awesome speech. Yes, well structured. What I like about your speech that I can see was that your facial expression congruent with what you say, and you created a mental image in my head, especially when you say ibu-ibu rebahan. Unfortunately, I do not know the meaning in English. If you can, use an English word, I think Alicia will be smiling, and so is Ben. Actually, ibu-ibu rebahan is a word that, to me, it's a humor. I was laughing actually when I heard about it. The first time I couldn't believe it. Really? And then when you repeated it, oh yeah, that was humorous. And I also like when you say, when before that you were running, you're very active, and suddenly you become fat. That also humorous. But please work on that. Pause a while and work on that, and people will laugh. I get that actually. Yeah. I love the speech. Yes, I agree. It was well structured, meaningful. Congratulations to you, right? And then our next speaker is, let me see what's your speaker. Oh yeah, our next speaker is Intan Rawit Sampanti. Intan Rawit Sampati. I would like to invite the evaluator to deliver. Who is the evaluator? Sorry.
It's the round robin. We're all going to be providing
Oh, this
feedback
is a
on
round
this.
robin. Okay, let us start from Alicia. Over to you, Alicia.
All right. Just as a heads up, I am going to be quite extensive and intense on this because this is what I like to do. All right. So I will be evaluating based on the judging criteria of Toastmasters International ballot sheet. Just as a heads up and a background, I have judged to the World Championship Public Speaking and I have judged the finals. So I will be using that as the format. I will be muting everyone, so it's an educational session so that you understand what I'm actually looking for at this particular level. So we did this at the contest judging workshop the other day. We're not going to look at the front sheet because it means nothing to everyone, but it's the back sheet where all the magic happens and what we're looking for. So it says what the purpose is, has to have an overall purpose of the content, and we're developing and presenting ideas in a substantially original speech. All right, can I zoom in? I sure can. Tell me if you can see. Can you guys all see that? Okay, can you see that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, all right. All right. So the judges' ballot is broken up into 3 parts: content, delivery, and language. So the focus on the content is 50%. The majority of this speech should be focused around this. This is where you actually write your speech. So speech development, do we have a opening, body, and conclusion? And the most important thing is around the purpose. I will be honest tonight, I'm frank, I don't feel I had a purpose. I was trying to sit here and get clarity. Am I trying to be motivated? Am I trying to be persuaded? Or am I trying to be inspired? And I was going between all 3 of those emotions. This is an emotional speech as a heads up. So for me, it's about, you said me first, you later. So you need to actually tack on to every single emotion and every single emotion. So you also need to think about the sensory emotions as well. Can we feel it? Can we taste it? Can we hear it? Can we see it? Can we feel it? If you're not going to tack onto those, you're going to lose a lot of marks in this speech because that's where the purpose is. So you have to think, am I here to persuade or am I here to inspire? Most of these speeches are actually here to inspire. So one of the things I would suggest is having a clear opening and a clear conclusion and a clear body. I felt that I was very lost, and this is where it goes down to speech value. I wouldn't have given you very strong marks in the speech value because I didn't know what I was trying to understand from your speech. You need to give us a story, a very strong, solid story. And one of the things that you need to do is answer these questions. What is the pain point that got you to this place to ask us about why you putting yourself first and we have to come second? You also have to get to the point. This is really important, especially in, it's one of the projects in the presentation mastery. You also need to ask yourself, what is the story that got me here? What is, because something has happened in your life in time to get you here to tell us that you have given up everything in your life for everyone else, but now you're taking this back. What is it? So you need to answer that in the story. That's my big thing. This is around the speech value and also the effectiveness. So I don't know what your speech purpose was. I think you're here to inspire. What is it that got you to this point to tell us this? All right. Delivery, I'm not going to really focus on the delivery because I think the delivery was not too bad. My suggestion is if you're going to do it in the online setting, see how I've got a black background and it really highlights my navy blue shirt and it highlights who I am. Either use a white background or a black background. This is a big thing, and also get the really strong lights as well. I noticed with, and this is a really important thing, so delivery physical, sad, profound, humorous, or instructional. I had a wave of emotions, but I didn't know which emotion I was trying to encapsulate on. What is the emotion I am trying to write in the different points of your story? Because as I said, you had a pain point in this story. There is something that has happened in your life to tell us this, but we don't know what that is. So if it's a funny point, exceed and exuberate. I am happy to be here. If you're sad and really mellow and something has shattered you, you need to actually showcase what that is too. All right. I liked your I think you speak beautifully. Can I just say from a judge's point of view, you have one of the best voices for me that is audible, easy to understand, and you're very clear. So I think you really should congratulate yourself on being able to be easily understood. You're actually magical to listen to. So easily understood voice. I absolutely love you vocally. Manner, I didn't get enthusiasm from you tonight to deliver the speech. I mean, I know it's a sad speech and there is that pain point, but what value am I getting out of this speech? I listened to the speech, but I don't know what value, if I was to be in the paying audience of paying, you know, $700 to go to the international convention, again, this goes back to the emotions. What is it that I'm paying to come from you? And I'm not going to focus on the language because I think that's a work in progress and that will come as the speech develops. But think about these things. Opening body and conclusion. Who are you talking to? What is your story? What is the pain point that's gotten you here? Use those amazing adjectives in your speech, in your structure of your speech to convey the message. What has gotten you to this point? What is the story behind INTA? Because there is something there, and I don't know, Natalie, are you feeling the same thing? There is something there that we are missing that's telling that we need to hear and that we need to understand.
Yeah, I think maybe the end part, you know, a story starts with some, like you said, story that gets you there, kind of like the struggle. And then usually there will be some challenges or like something that you do to overcome struggles. And then you arrive into a success per se in the story or like a resolution of the conflict. I think the second part was not there yet. So the bridging was kind of abrupt.
That's what I'm thinking. Try to work out what your purpose is, because as I said, this is worth 45% of your marks as a speaker, and then you're going to lose 45 marks automatically with that. So are you here to persuade us to put ourselves first, or are you here to inspire us and motivate us with that painful story? And again, sensory emotion, this has got all 5 senses. Taste it, feel it, hear it, see it, and be part of it. I want to have all the emotions there. I hope this is enough feedback to help you with and to guide whoever's mentoring and coaching you, because it's really important. I think this is an important message. I think you've got the great skeletons and backbone to a speech, putting yourself first. But why do you have to put you first and everyone else second? Is something happened to you emotionally to get you to this point? That would be my feedback for you. Amran, you might want to ask other people if they want to provide feedback.
Thank you, Alicia. I will revise my speech.
Ben, would you like to give your suggestion, opinion on the speech, comment, recommendation?
I have to follow that.
Mhm.
He said,
No one can follow
Alicia-
that up.
Alicia, you're still sharing your screen.
Yeah.
Take it off. Take your screen off, Alicia. All right. Wow. Okay. So how to follow that? I only looked at one thing because I figured that Alicia would say everything. And let me see. And when I'm teaching students about public speaking, it's really the power of 3, right? It's one of my fundamental things is that our brains only really can take in 3 things. So beginning, middle, and end, introduction, conclusion are the 2 most important parts of any speech, right? So when we had our meeting last week, we kind of broke your introduction down a little bit, and you implemented some of the stuff that we did, and Natalie kind of our suggestions, which really worked out really well. I think though, in some aspects of your introduction, it was rushed a little bit. And what happens when you rush things a little bit, it becomes robotic and it's not like natural. Because when your introduction is the key to your introduction is for the audience to get to know who you are, right? Like, who are you? So if you're kind of rushing things and kind of just trying to hit key points, it's not really a real connection, like real emotion. So I can't really, I'll have to look at the videos more specifically where it's at. I just kind of felt like it wasn't really who you are as how you're delivering it. Like you're just trying to get to this point, to get to this point, to get to this point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool, that's it.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite distinguished Toastmaster Pipit to give comment, recommendation, suggestion.
Okay, well, it's hard to follow that up. I mean, Alicia, by that, I mean, Alicia, Ben, don't be too convinced. Okay, well, one thing that I would like to highlight here is the message that Intan wants to share is counterintuitive for some people, right? Because we are brought up to, especially women and a mother is yourself, right? You get this heavy expectations from the society, basically, right? You have this expectations that you should make other people priority all throughout your life, basically, right? So I think it's it needs to be shown in a more contrast way. So how the expectation of the society actually is not always right, something like that, or it's not, what is it? It's not possible even, of course, or it's not fair even, right? So it's not fair, maybe it's not possible, or it's not humanly possible. You know what I mean? So try to show to us that how unfair this is, how painful this is, how, you know. So I sense a little bit of resentment in your tone. I think Alicia also could tell that, right? But we were missing the resentment in a good way, because I think resentment can be a driving force to deliver a good speech. We both are debaters in TAN, so we know that. We're debaters. So yeah, so I would like you to explore that resentment, like what makes you arrive to this situation that makes you a little bit sounding counterintuitive, that you want to prioritize yourself first over everyone else. Because if you are not able to do that, it will sound quite negative in a way, like, you know, it will sound selfish and things like that. So the packaging must be right. So it not sound too harsh or not sounding too selfish and things like that. So starting from the portraying how the expectation from the society is really humanly impossible or unfair or heartbreaking or whatever, blah blah blah. Try to come up with strong adjectives that describe it, and then from that you have your input. So this is what I experienced related to that. So I come to a conclusion that we should prioritize ourselves first. Something like that. Yeah. So I hope it adds something to the evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite our District 87 champion, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. Your comment, recommendation, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie.
Thank you, G. Amran. And also Intan, yes. How can we follow after Alicia, Ben, Pipet? We can. So I'm going to look at maybe clarifying some points that they have brought up. I think what they wanted to hear from you is the justification. Why you bring up this message, me first and you later. It's about self-love, but what made you come to that conclusion? That is where you need to explore the story, because even before your accident part, there must be something that happened that drove you to that conclusion or planted some seeds of idea. Okay, it's always about others and never about me. So explore the story. I think that's what they're trying to convey to you. Just explore the story, why you wanted to say that. And then you also we need to help you to find a better way to rephrase some part so that it doesn't sound selfish, it doesn't sound ignorant, but it can sound truly as good as what you intended to be. Because I know your intention is well. You intended to remind people to take care of yourself first. But sometimes in the art of communication and contest, wrong or not, I don't want to say wrong, inappropriate wording can mislead the audience. So this is where we, probably not just you, but also a bit, Ben and myself, we can chip in some ideas, and also maybe Dini can help us also to find a better way to phrase some part, to make sure that there will be no misunderstanding about your intention. In terms of the delivery, I just want you to explore a little bit on pauses.
Mhm.
Find some part where you need to pause, dramatize the action, pauses, and appropriate expression to the emotion. And I think this can be done once you identify the emotion, like what Alicia has suggested earlier. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Have time.
Distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. Toastmaster Yvonne, would you like to chip in? Toastmaster Yvonne, would you like to chip in to the evaluation?
Yeah, I think for speaker, in Thai speaking,
You still muted.
Speak louder, Yvonne.
how about now?
Okay, better.
I love her speech. It looks, it give me the feeling, it impressed me. Very good organization, and it is flowing thoroughly. And the other point, I think I always can be touched by very good information. I feel like it's helping a lot. And the other point is she gives a very appropriate and gesture. And the other point, I think from the very good vocal intonation, I feel like it's good. And this is my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Yvonne. Now I would like to invite Toastmaster Irfan. Toastmaster Irfan, would you like to chip in?
Just
Oh,
a question, just a thing,
okay.
Amran. We don't have
Okay.
any more time left. We've only got
Okay
20
then.
minutes
Okay,
left.
okay. Toastmaster Intan, understand what you mean. Understand your message very clearly. I was once at that position. I came from a family of 15 brothers and sisters. I am the second. I have to leave school and help my father, who was the sole breadwinner in the family. I am later. Family is always first. I always thought about them until one day I realized that, like what you said, when something happened to you, when you suffer, the worst, the feeling not important is they, because of your so many brothers, not many will help you. In my case, none of them help me. I have to help myself. That's why I can relate to your story. And I agree with the rest of them. Maybe they don't have that experience. So they try to improve your speech so that people can understand your speech. But in my case, I had that experience, so easy for me to relate to your message. All right? Please think about the recommendation, suggestion by our members and improve your speech. It was a very good speech, right? Thank you.
PM Amran.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite our timer to report the time taken.
Oh yeah, for Natalie, she already eligible to be not to be voted because she is the only one.
She's the only one who is eligible.
Oh, sorry, can we take photo first before we forgot? Actually, we forgot to take it before Ben left.
Okay.
Okay. So, Dini, are you able to turn on cam? And Weka? Weka, wake up.
Sorry, sorry,
Not
sorry.
able
open the
to.
phone. Yeah.
Okay. Ready, everyone? 1, 2. All right. Another one. Sorrows. Feeling
Calling
sorrow.
burger.
1, 2. Okay. Back to G. Afran.
Thank you. I thought it was fun to look at the falling burger day, especially now feeling very hungry. Now I would like to invite our grammarian to give a report on the grammar.
Yes, thank you so much. So I will like to share a screen, although I will not share as much.
Okay.
All right. So this is, there are some
Ibu-ibu rebahan.
suggestions. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
ibu-ibu, it's coach potatoes. Okay,
Coach
okay, okay,
potatoes.
okay.
Although ibu-ibu here is very gender specific, very, it's like
Uh-huh.
to moms who, there's a stigma in Indonesia, you know, who stay at
Oh.
home mom, they usually spend time, you know, as couch potatoes in their house, something like that. So that's ibu-ibu rebahan. Rebahan itself means laying down.
Laying down, yeah, rebah.
Yeah. But there's no English word for it, but I think couch potatoes is probably the closest, yeah. And I heard someone said exhausted, and it's supposed to be with the z, so exhausted. Yeah,
Exhausted.
exhausted. If you like to practice how to pronounce it, please welcome. Feel free to unmute and say exhausted.
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 Aren't we all?
Exhausted.
Aren't we all exhausted? Okay, and then
Exhausted.
thank you. Even without my present, someone said even without my present, so it's supposed to be even without my presence. And I like the word unrequited love. I actually just learned this
Cinta
in
bertepuk
university,
sebelah
so
tangan.
I did not even know the English word for unrequited
Unrequited
love. And you know what's
Cinta
funny
tidak
in
bertepuk
bahasa?
sebelah tangan. Yeah.
Yes, we call it cinta bertepuk sebelah tangan, or is trying to clap with one hand. So you want pop, yeah. So that the bahasa word for unrequited love is cinta bertepuk sebelah tangan. And I have several interesting expressions I like to share. The first one is from a marathon runner to sleeping beauty, or the other way around, from sleeping beauty to marathon runner. Yeah. Putting ourselves first is not selfish, it's self-love and self-care. Here. And last one is, I like the alliteration, literally and laterally. Exhausted or something like that, yeah. So this is alliteration. Alliteration is when the two words are put side by side and they start with the same sound. That's alliteration. So literally and laterally is a good, also rhymes too, so it's a good expression. So that's all I can share. Thank you. You're still muted, Amran.
Okay, sorry. Now I would like to invite our R counter and WOD counter, Toastmaster Yvonne, to give a report, please.
Thank you, PE, Toastmaster Amla. My counter report for prepared speaker. Sini, Toastmaster Sini video and Toastmaster Intan, the second speaker video and one WOC. And for the table topic speaker, Toastmaster Amla video and one WOC. For me, I think I have a few parts in one WOC. For the speaker, Toastmaster American video for the Toastmaster Fan for two and the one store. For the Toastmaster Waiter, I think the time is finished very soon. For Toastmaster Cookie, and the two one store. For the evaluation, Toastmaster Natalie video the Toastmaster Alicia one turn and one WOC for Toastmaster and video Toastmaster the second evaluation, the long robin evaluation, Toastmaster City one turn one and for Toastmaster Natalie, little Toastmaster Amran, Thank you. So for tonight, we totally have the people say the WOD next time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to our team.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Yvonne. Toastmaster Yvonne, please check your headset because we hardly can hear your voice. Maybe there's something wrong there. Okay. On the whole, it was an excellent job. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Yvonne. Now I would like to give my general remark, a very short general remark that I found the meeting was very interesting. We have experienced people in the meeting. I feel fortunate. We have our district champion here. We have Alicia. And the table topics by Ben just now was excellent. The way he concluded what has been said by the speaker, I thought it was amazing. The two speakers, congratulations. I learned from what you said, especially I had take-home message from your speeches, from Intan and from Nuri, from Dini. Nuri's my advice to Dini is that in future, make sure you really set the timer so that you won't be over the time. And again, I would say that I love the session very much. This is my first visit to this club, and I definitely will visit this club again in the future. I have many good things to say, but we don't have much time. In view of that, I would like to hand over the control to our Toastmaster of the evening, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Curtis. Over to you, Alicia. Are you still around?
Thank you.
Good.
Thank
yeah.
you. I am still here. Thanks, Amran.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And for being respectful. Muting myself. God, I love it. Thank you so much for being so adjustable, and that's the good thing about a timer or a general evaluator timer. Everything we're able to adjust and reconnect and do things differently. So thank you very much. Let's give you a huge round of applause. Amran bin Aliamat. Thank you so much. All right, we're excited to find out who the winners are. Well, we know who the winner of the evaluation is. It's Natalie. We know who the winner of the speech is. It's Intan. So congratulations, Natalie and Intan. But the most important one, the table topics. Dun, 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 dun. There's the best speaker, Intan. I think we should take a photo.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Someone highlight Intan and I will take photo.
Yes, I will.
Sorry. Natalie has 3 rules today, but she's used to it. So, Intan, smile. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Got it? Okay. Okay, let me just stop sharing. I don't want to spill, so let me just do the evaluation first. And Jang, jang, jang. Share screen. It's me first.
Yes, but can you highlight
Yay.
first? Natalie, highlight.
It's me.
Oh, yes. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Okay. And last but not least, the best table topic speaker goes to DTM Pipit Andriani.
Yay.
You.
So Pipit,
I take photo of myself. Okay. 1, 2. Got it.
thank you very much. Congratulations. Back to you, Alicia.
Thank you very much for that, and congratulations to all people. It was girl power tonight. All right, so it was definitely chick power tonight. Let's give all the chicks a big round of applause. Girl power. But there was only like 3 or 4 men in the house, but the chicks were out in full force. So congratulations. We have now completed and eaten the big fat apple pie. Did everyone enjoy tonight's meeting? Yes. Excellent. I think we had a guest or two. So Irfan, and I think CSP, I think it's Weka. So we will ask for guest feedback at the end of the meeting. I'm not going to ask for the guest feedback, but our lovely president will. I remember meeting this lovely president many years ago in 2015. Yes, many moons ago. In 2015 when I was in Bali, and she was actually one of the division directors in District 87. I remember Natalie was also the contestant. We were talking about this earlier. And Natalie actually told me that I was a flower when I was the contest speaker. Yeah, for the test speaker role. Yes, I was a flower. There you go. We all can laugh from that one, can't we, Natalie? She's going red. Yes, it was a very funny time, but it was a great time. I think there was about 400 people at that conference. It was always, to this day, remains the best conference I've ever been to in Toastmasters, other than the international convention, but that's separate. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. We might have been a little bit light on numbers, but I think we had an enjoyable meeting. I'm going to hand over conduct and control to round us out, and that is to the club president, Pipit Andriani. Thank you, Pipit.
Thank you, Alicia. You know, guys, 2015 was like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, and I still remember her speech. If you can tell, you know, if you want to deliver a memorable speech, Alicia is the best person to give you feedback for it, because she delivered this one specific speech 7 years ago, and I still remember to this day. So that's how memorable it was. Yeah. She was the only one also on the stage that went all fours, crawling, right? That's one of the memorable parts as well. All right. Thank you, Alicia, for being our Tom today. Now, just like what Alicia mentioned briefly earlier, I will ask some guest feedback, but probably just one today. Okay. And then I will ask Irfan. Maulana, how did you find us, Irfan? And how did you find our meeting? Was it fun? Was it blah?
I'm invited by Miss Intan.
Oh. And then how did you feel like about our meeting like this? Or are you interested to join next time? Things like that?
Honestly, this is first time and it feels so, my adrenaline is, I mean, you know, my first time. So maybe, yeah, I'm interested to join this. Yeah,
Oh,
to
nice.
join with. Okay.
Yes. Are you from one of the lecturers as well, or the mahasiswa, or which one?
I'm in official international affairs Universitas Ahmad Dahlan I'm
Ah,
as outbound PIC.
okay. FYI, I met Intan for the first time also at Universitas Ahmad Dahlan in 2005.
2005?
2005 or 6.
2000.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Yeah,
very
long
many
time.
moons ago. Anyway, so okay, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you join us again the next 2 weeks. Yeah. And however, I know iPhone comes here, and I think she will come. Sorry, I call her iPhone because of Rendra. But please come again next 2 weeks. And then Pak Amran, thank you so much for helping us today. And I hope you also can carve out time to see us again next 2 weeks. And also Weka as well from Magical, if I'm not mistaken, right? From Magical Bali. And then
Ben's friend.
thanks, Alicia. Where? Sorry?
Ben's friend.
Ben's friend, but not a Toastmaster member yet.
No.
Oh, Weka. Oh, that's a good chance. It's a great time to think about it. Okay, Weka?
Okay.
Yeah, second month into 2024. So we like to do something new. Toastmaster is probably, you know, new thing that you like to try. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. And then see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. See
Thank
you.
you, everyone. See you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.